Justin Fields ruled out. Carson Wentz starting for the Minnesota Vikings. Joe Burrow out for 3 months for the Cincinnati Bengals. My boys, what are we doing here?
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer.
GM, everyone. How are we all doing on this beautiful Wednesday morning? Of course, it is Wednesday, which means it is waiver day for many of us. Maybe some of you guys already have gotten your waivers done. Mine are not done yet. We are also going to head over to Splash Sports today. We are going to probably try and get our pick'ems in. Not our pick'ems, maybe we'll do a tiers entry as well. We will also do our survivor stuff. We will probably draft a couple battle royales if we have the time, but also I'm thinking that most Wednesdays, effectively, this is just going to be our question and answer portion. So if you got waiver moves, you got trade stuff, whatever you want, this is a little bit of our grab bag program to make sure that our lineups, to make sure that our entries, because I have to do this stuff anyways, and it's just a little bit easier for my lifestyle if I get them all. I mean, think about it. What is going to be better for me than to get it done on stream? GM Scott, GM Chad, Rabona King, Popo Frapp, Ashton. Wow, fish tonight. GM C Rander, GM Liam. Not Chess Liam. Chess Liam is doing his program at 7 p.m. tonight. The Best Ball Mania leaderboard show with Nez is his guest tonight. GM. I see Mr. Jets drop bombs in the streets quite often. GM to Jake as well. Trey Harris almost dropped Trey Harris on a team last night, Jake. Almost had to do it. So let's get started. Let's get started with waivers. Now that ship chasing doesn't do waivers, I just do my own waiver content, which means that I don't really listen to any waiver content. And we can check, we can hop around on BBMDB and whatnot as well. No sweat there. All right. His time is coming. GM, Mr. T. Sorensen. All right, first team. This team is disgusting, dude. Look at this. Second in the standings. But look at this, bro. This is a Superflex league. Superflex Dynasty League. I have Dak, May, Gino, and Daniel Jones, who I picked up off waivers last year for free. I mean, that's basically cheating. And then I guess I can drop Kirk Cousins whenever. I have Bijan, Genti, Pacheco. So basically, I'm wondering if I want to add... Oh, really? It's probably not anyone worth adding on this team. Listen to Denny and Rotopet say that McCarthy will not get the job back this year. An entire year of Wentz doing a great value Darnold impersonation. I mean... I would say Wentz. I'm in an industry league with these aforementioned people, the Roto World Friends and Family League. These folks let me pick up Carson Wentz for free. I bid $0 on Carson Wentz in this league with with everyone, right? I mean, it's got Silva, it's got Sam Sherman, it's got Rebar, it's got Daigle, it's got all these guys. They let me get Wentz for $0.00. It sounds like Xavier Worthy is playing. It does sound like Xavier Worthy is going to play. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if it's bad, but it does sound like he's going to play. I think it's tooting way over Samson. Don't you guys? I feel like the Tootin thing. I mean, it's over for the Tootin faders. So the week 2 usage in the Jags backfield, only 25% of the snaps, but he got 31% of the team's rush attempts, 33% targets per route run, which basically means ETN got one more target. I'm you're darn Tootin'. I'm smashing that Tootin' button. I don't think Denny is in that league, Zach. To be fair, I do not believe that Denny is in that league. Darnold getting traded made the Vikings and Seahawks worse. That's kind of the Sam Darnold curse, right? GM Neto, GM Benny, GM Danny. Yeah, I mean that because I wouldn't say ETN certainly is not playing poorly, right? ETN is playing fine. But this was always the deal. This was always the Tootin' bet to begin with. The Tootin' bet was that he just is going to be so good that there's no way to keep him on the sideline, and then eventually ETN does what he always does, which is ETN gets a little nicked up, and that's it for him. So, is there any tight end I want to pick up in this league? Probably not. Do I want to pick up McNichols in this league? Probably not. Do I want to do... I guess I will do some defensive bidding, dropping Kirk Cousins. So I have how much money? I have $998 in this league. A lot of other people have spent their money here. I'll go 333 on Browning. I'll go 59, and I'll do $11 on each of these Jamokes, dropping Kirk Cousins, save that bid group, and move on. Tootin or Trevion in full point PPR with a first down bonus. All right, here's the first really tough question to think about. Man, I think it's still Trevion because, look, I mean, yes, Tootin got a touchdown last week, but he played 25% of the snaps, 31% of the rush attempts. It's basically the same numbers as Henderson, but Henderson has way more upside in a given game in terms of touches. I personally don't think the Henderson thing is that weird. It's just, we always knew that this was going to happen. I personally thought it was unlikely that Ramondre would just start the year and give away nothing. Now, the Gibson usage, you're not loving it. You're not loving it, but it's also not the kind of thing that is going to exist forever, in my opinion. Yeah, it's the Gibson stuff that is a little bit more concerning. GM Clay, how we doing, brother? I also think this. Like Ramondre could just fumble at any second. All right, my wide receivers are Jamar Chase, Ladd McConkey, Wandale, Booty, and Pearsall. My running backs are Chase Brown, David Montgomery, Rashad White, and Sharbs. Tight ends are Juwan and Kelsey. I have an offer. Oh my God, yes, dude, what? You get Genty for free? Do that before the guy changes his mind. Immediately get there before he changes his mind, Carlos. You gotta go. Henderson got somewhat doghouse because of the holding penalties. Yes, exactly. Anthony knows ball, smart guy. M. Rogers agrees. Trey biffed badly on a few blocks, kind of got benched. Hardcore agree. Not something I'm worried about. So I've not finished my rankings yet this week, Rabona King. My thought is probably that Mason is going to be a top 10 running back this week, though. Really hard for me to imagine keeping him out. Trevion, yeah, you guys all know ball. You guys all picked up that he missed the block, so shout out to you guys. Best scroll on quarterback BR this week. Caleb Williams isn't really a scroll. Best scroll quarterback. I mean, how about Trevor Lawrence? GM LBJ, GM keep the chief. Carlos, you got yourself a deal, man. You love to see it. All right, I think this team is probably fine. So this is a pretty interesting one. This is the team that I have with Leone that has an absolutely absurd roster, but lost Mixon, lost Kittle, now lost Joe Burrow. I think I just gotta ship it for Jake Browning on this team. Right now I have 900 in for Jake Browning. I don't know. What would you guys do? Because this is a pretty good team. I mean, obviously we are starting Kenneth Gainwell at our running back too, so it's not that good. But I feel like we kind of got to send it. GM, dang. I never know if Jake is serious about this. I never know if he actually wants multiple people to join him in an afternoon playbook. But if it is, it's very funny. Start 4 of BTJ, Rome, McBuka, T. Sit worthy. Easy. Those are the spots that you have the least amount of certainty. Xavier Worthy, I mean, dude, he's basically just going to be a decoy. Just watch your video on the rookie running backs, and I'm still panicking. I mean, come on, man. What is there really to panic about? Rookie running backs start slow, then they win leagues. That's just how it goes. Amari Hampton is like already better. He's already in a better role than some people would have projected him in when they signed Najee Harris. I think Amari Hampton is going to be like super all right. It's really hard. It's really hard for me to imagine him. Like he's going to get worst case scenario. He gets 180 rushes, maybe 32 catches or something, which is a bad third round pick. But also, if you thought Amari Hampton was good when you picked him, then you should think that with the work that he does get, he will continue to play better. That would be my assumption. Yeah, Browning had 3 300-yard games. Obviously, he gets to throw to these really good wide receivers. Yeah, Zach, I think you're right. I think this was just my gut instinct because I texted Leone. And Wentz, obviously, and Wandale's available. Okay, we're going to add Wentz. We're going to add Tyrod. We're going to add Mariota. I'm going to take it way down. I'm going to remove Cousins. I'm going to remove Gabriel. So I'm going to do like 402 on Browning. I'm going to add 88 on Wentz, and I'm just going to do like $12 on Tyrod and Mariota. That's a much more reasonable group. I can drop Jarquez Hunter. Probably not happening for Jarquez Hunter this year. Tennessee defense against the Colts. That's not going to work. I, too, am irrationally concerned about small sample sizes. Perhaps the attempt to be Bayesian about early season stuff is the result of misunderstanding the veracity of priors. I say this all the time. I mean, I don't know if I'm really that surprised about the Najee stuff. Like they would have brought in a different running back. Najee got 38% of the rush attempts and 22% of the routes. I mean, how funny is it that Matlock shows up? It's really funny. Is it worth it to trade Tyreek for T? What are the rest of your wide receivers? I would think no, but maybe. I still think Russ gets benched, but I do think Wandale is on the up and up. Jake, we're gonna do Survivor a little bit later, brother. My first one was Seahawks though. nervous about the Jaguars offense? I am not. I'm not. So if I had Neighbors and Igbuka, I'd probably prefer to have Tyreek because I think Tyreek's ceiling is higher. How much is too much for McNichols on a Henderson? The thing is dude, McNichols is going to project every week for like 5.8 points. You're still not going to start him. McNichols is just Trevion Henderson or RJ Harvey, but on a team that doesn't throw to their running backs. McNichols is for a team. Let me show you a team that can use McNichols. This is a team that is going to be bidding on McNichols. This is the worst running back team you've ever seen. Let me sub out Ollie Gordon for Byshell Tootin here. Look at the running backs on this team. Tyrone Tracy, Byshell Tootin, Ollie Gordon, Jarquez Hunter, Woody Marks, Keaton Mitchell, Jaden Blue. That's a team to bid on McNichols. Good trade. I got Jonathan Taylor and Kelsey, and I gave Kittle and Lamb. It's not a very good trade, Robbie. It's not a terrible trade. I wouldn't say it's a great trade. Getting rid of the IR guy is nice, but my general philosophy is I always prefer to be getting the best possible player. And not that Jonathan Taylor's bad, but Lamb is a little bit better. All right. Seahawks defense, number one streamer of the week. So I'll do a bid there. Jags D I like. Green Bay defense. Holy shit. I'm actually going to bid a lot on Green Bay defense. Indy defense for $1. Honestly, Saints defense for $1 is not bad. Washington defense for $1. Okay. Good there. Yeah, look at that running back room. Yeah, Arizona D's fine. I don't think they're like a super high. I don't think you like really want them this week, but they're fine. Oh, by the way, this guy on the team that I had with Leone where we didn't have a quarterback, he did offer us Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart, but we had to give up Mixon and Pickens. I would do this trade if it didn't require giving up our pick. There you go. A real-time trade happening. Yeah, Green Bay defense looks disgusting. Drafted one quarterback and redraft Hurts. I mean, yeah, it's good to add Daniel Jones in that spot. Obviously, I would not spend too much money on it, though. All right, this is the absurd team with Drew and Mike. Don't really think there's anyone worth adding here. Maybe something I missed at tight end. Higbee, Barner. Yeah, I like Higbee and Barner more than Mayer. What do the stats say on... yes, you should definitely start... I mean, Genti is an every week starter, Carlos. Other than the 1-2 turn guys who's an under-the-radar trade target at wide receiver, Rashee Rice. I bet the Rashee Rice owner is pretty frustrated about not being able to start him. That would be the first guy I would try and trade for. Is Worthy? No, absolutely not. Worthy is not catching any passes this week. He's got to show it to me first. All right, here we go. This is this is one with Steph, so Steph handles these waivers. All right, this is Alchemy. Ertz and Njoku or Ferguson? Oh, Ferguson for sure, dude. Jake Ferguson is playing and getting so many more targets. NFC East. Look at this usage for Jay Fergie. 28% targets per route run, 24% of the targets, more than CeeDee Lamb. You're the Rashee Rice guy. That's why you need a wide receiver. I would try and trade for the Miami guys after this game, maybe on Thursday. I don't know who else. Who else is a legitimate buy low at wide receiver? Just sort by routes. At wide receiver. Tet would be a good buy right now. Keenan, no one would sell you Keenan Allen. Got to do a minimum of. There you go. I actually kind of like buying on Marvin Harrison Jr. Olave, Lad is really good. What do I say to the dynasty manager in your league that won the Carson Wentz bid? Immediately put him on the trade block. I would say good GG, good game. I would rather buy Olave than Pittman. This is Mr. Sorensen. This is an absolute steal. Absolute steal to get Rashee Rice for Brandon Ayuk and DeAndre Swift. Would you do Amarian, Sutton, and JMO for James Cook? As in, you are receiving those players? I like the Amarian side of that deal by a billion miles. I do not think that James Cook is anywhere close to being worth all that. In my contending Dynasty Squad rebuilder, has Garrett Wilson and Olave on the block. Olave, right? Rattler looks okay. My take on Troy Franklin is I also do not trust Sean Payton. I think I said in my waiver video this week that I would, if Troy Franklin played for any other coach, I'd spend 50 of my waiver dollars on him. Trade Brees, Hendu, BTJ, or Bowers for A-Chain, JMO, Pickens. Brees, Hendo, BTJ for A-Chain, JMO, Pickens. Man, I wouldn't do it with Bowers. I for sure would not do it with Bowers. Dab K. No, do not drop Travis Hunter. No one drop Travis Hunter. Please step back from the keyboard. You know what? I would rather have Troy Franklin than Dubs or Kayshon Boutte. I really would. Hot take. Yeah, Eliminator should update very soon, I believe. Over on underdogfantasy.com. All right, San Francisco against Arizona, good. Jake Bates here, good. All right, well, we can drop Eckler on this team. Our quarterback is Jalen. I am going to McWeapon, Beatty, Akers, honestly, not nothing. LeQuint, I can toss in for $1. Jalen Wright may be worth $1 at this point, honestly. Oh, Wicks, you're about to see. Jake, I'm about to go do all my waivers right now. We are about to add Dontavian Wicks onto every fantasy football team you're about to see. Is this the mega viral tweet guy? That's me. That's me, coach. Over under rest of season Bill yards. Does Mike Clay update his projections in seasons? Mike Clay rest of season projections. Does he update them in season? No, he doesn't. I would say 980 scrimmage yards rest of the season for Bill. No, I'm not picking up Jaden Reed. I would prefer Algier to Franklin in fantasy football. Miles Sanders, Jordan James, not worth it. Maffa, not worth it. I guess we're putting Zamir White. We could put Raheem Sanders on this list. Not McCormick, not Chestnut. None of these guys are any good. All right, so we are dropping Eckler on a team that has nothing at running back. So, Frankie, I think you were asking about McNichols bids. Here's how to do a McNichols bid. Because we actually need him on this. We were starting Austin Eckler. So I'm gonna go to 187. Go to 33 on 80. And I'm gonna do $1 on the rest of these guys, but I'm just gonna make sure that we get something. Gibson, Chris Brooks, Lauby, sure, whatever. Isaiah, we just got to get someone. Oh yeah, Burrow is a drop. Yes, good advice from good high stakes player Josh Dombrowski here. Coker is a sneaky ad this week. All right, so the question now is, do we want to drop? Oh yeah, we're definitely dropping Leggett. Just no reason to hang Xavier Leggett around. Trey Harris, Coker, Slayton, not really worth it. DeAndre Hopkins for $1. Okay, there we go. Wicks. I'm keeping these guys all at $1. I'm gonna put Wicks at the top. I'll do $22 on Dontavian Wicks. Browning versus Minnesota. Oh yeah, definitely Browning versus Minnesota. I'm not thinking Russ is gonna be very good. Wildcat team: Daniel Jones, JT Puka, Rome, Pickens, Warren. I just don't do very many 3 wide receiver teams. I think it's fine though. Okay. That should be good there. Save bid group. Man, we are going to have to get lucky. Ferguson, Kincaid. All right, we're fine there. The running backs just suck. All right, this is a 1-1 team with Lamar, Henry, Harvey, Jefferson, Flowers, Ferg, Adams, Rashid Shaheed, Jake Bates, and the Detroit defense. We do not want the Detroit defense this week. We want, Green Bay. I'm bidding pretty big on here. And then we can do Tampa Bay against Tyrod, pretty good. Washington against Raiders, pretty good. Jaguars against Houston, pretty good. Indianapolis against Tennessee, pretty good. New Orleans is fine. GM. I would not drop Richardson yet in Dynasty. I would wait a little bit. Not high enough on Wicks. GM Jared. Xavier Leggett has 15 targets for 8 yards right now. Crazy. Just dropped Coker out of IR to put Fields there to make room for Alec Ironmanner. No. I don't think Coker really has all that much of upside just after watching Bryce Young play. 69 on GB. Okay. Should I trade McMillan for London or Myers or Dobbins? Definitely not Jacoby Myers. Definitely not Dobbins. Yeah, I would trade Tedoroy McMillan for Dobbins. This team also has Austin Eckler, so we're heading back into the running back mines here. Man, tough. All right, Manungai. That's the guy you want this week. 208 on Manungai. adding Chris Rodriguez, adding Zamir White, adding Chris Brooks, adding Gibson. Man, what a tough scene. Leaguette's UD receiving line was opened at 30. Start Pickens, Swift, or Walker. Yeah, Bryce stinks, brother. Give it up. Yes, you did miss something on Monangai. Roshan Johnson was active in week 2, but did not play on offense. And DeAndre Swift also fumbled in that game. Also, this team has no running backs. Austin Eckler on IR, Tank Bigsby, Ray Davis, DJ Giddens, Justice Hill, Tyler Beatty. We got nothing. Do you have any advice on whether I should panic on insert rookie running back? I don't actually. I got nothing for you. We can do a buck on Singletary. We can do a buck on Emmanuel Wilson. Buck on Sean Tucker. 88 on McNichols. 30 on Rodriguez. Dropping Eckler. This team did my defense bids. We're good at kicker. That's fine. Ooh, Evan Ingram. There's a guy you can panic on. If you drafted Evan Ingram, it is completely over for Evan Ingram. All right. Trevor Lawrence. Is there a different quarterback we can add than Trevor Lawrence? Browning. Wentz, maybe. Oh, God. All right. Hampton, Harvey, Chase, J-Mo. Man, you know what? We might start tooting on this team. Bench one running back, Warren, Hampton, or Pollard. Hampton of that group. Hampton. For me, it's Dontavian Wicks. I think we saw the pitfalls of being Kayshon Boutte last week. Kayshon Boutte just is not a great target earner. So he has run 80% of the routes, but he has the lowest. He's got a 13% targets per route run, super high A dot. I'm a Wicks boy. I think it's totally rational to start Tootin over Henderson. Yeah, I don't feel particularly good about Trevor Lawrence, honestly. So maybe we do something else. Yeah, I think we have to keep Fields, and I think we just do Browning, Mac Jones, Carson Wentz, and I think we just do really low, and if we win, we win. I'm also going to create a bid group dropping Jaden Reed. I think Likely is a really good pickup. I do. Jaden Daniels out this week. Should I scoop up Browning or Darnold? I would go Browning. Browning is like a bad real-life quarterback, but I think his fantasy numbers are going to be okay. Start one of Pacheco, Tootin, or Trevion. I will tell you how I'm going to have them ranked this week. I'm going to have them ranked Henderson, Tootin, Pacheco. It's over for Pacheco. Full PPR. Got sent to trade. They will give me Puka and Kyron. So you get Puka, you get Kyron. You send off Jaden Daniels, Drake London, and Swift. Send it. Do it. You get Puka, you win. Puka's the best wide receiver in the NFL right now for fantasy football. I would smash that button, brother. Think that is a good trade. Good trade for you. All right, Trevor Lawrence, Marion Hampton. Seahawks defense, sick. We got Tootin. Wow, we even have Ramondre on this team. And we have Chig on the bench. So we are actually weakest at tight end here. Higbee, sure. What has Chig's routes been like? Tennessee. Chig, 79% of the routes, 18% of the... I guess that's pretty good. I guess third on the team in targets for a tight end is good. Walker and Pickens for London. I like the London side. Should I trade away Cortland Sutton and B-Rob? I mean, B-Rob is basically worthless. I would not do that, engineer. I would not do that, but I'm being kind of stubborn about Javonte. My opinion would be to not do that. But, God, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just played the Javonte situation totally incorrectly. Javonte is pretty high in the expected fantasy points stuff. I had that pulled up earlier. Well, not as high as you'd think, I guess. Rushing, here you go. Bell cow report. Expected fantasy points, Javonte Williams, 7th in the NFL. Hey, man. JJ McCarthy was a good player, Rob. Yeah, I drafted a lot of Jaden Blue. Rest of season, Fannin or Ferguson? I got Ferguson higher. Ferguson's been a really good player, man. No one wants to hear it, but he really, like, including me, by the way. I don't really want to hear it, but the dude does earn targets. So you gotta follow it how it goes. FFPC, have Harvey, Kendre, and Braylon. Yeah. If I had those exact same players in FFPC, I would start Harvey as well. Thoughts on Gritty? Shout out to him, man. No one's having more fun than Gritty right now. Gritty is just enjoying life, you know. Can't hate on a man for enjoying himself, and he sure is enjoying himself. Sanderson going from, well, yeah, but Darnold played so bad in their big games. Tush push is good for Jalen Hurts' value, Carlos. Well, you know, if it makes you feel bad for Dink, just remember Dink keeps winning a lot of money in fantasy sports. Gritty was FFB wizard all along. I got Fannin over Io Manor, but I could see that one going either way. 12-team PPR, 2 flex, being offered Trey McBride, Cortland Sutton, and Charbonnet. I'd do that deal. But I'm a big McBride guy. We could have all learned something from the grid. It's true. Well, CB, I got a video for you to watch. Before you decide to be done on rookie running backs, why don't you watch this video? Why don't you watch? I'll be here in 15 minutes. You got time to go watch it. Rookie running backs start slow, then win leagues. Why don't you go watch that, come back, and tell me if you still don't like it. Caleb for Ward and I want the Caleb side, Mercantage, but I'm a big Caleb believer. We actually don't need to bid on Higbee on this team. Really, I mean, all we need to bid on is we need a wide receiver for Jaden Reed. Wicks, Michael Wilson, Buck on Tyquan, Slayton. I wonder if Knoll or Higgins. Oh, if you can get a first, then do it. Sure. Yes, we will do some BRs, Brady. It's just going to be a little bit later, probably. If I had Tucker Kraft and Tyler Warren, I would probably try and trade Tucker Kraft. Add Malik to all your bids. Okay. Add Malik Washington to all my bids. He's already owned in this league, Frankie. Already owned. Gonna do a big bid on Dontavian Wicks on this one. Dropping Jaden Reed. Bang. Done. All right, one more team. Yo. After seeing the top Eliminator players left, are we second guessing if real-time assistance tools are good for the game? As a casual, I don't like it. I mean, I would say, dude, I drafted all my Eliminator teams with the sidekick. What I would say is that they also have had a really good run out with like Quentin Johnson and stuff, but also no money has been made in the Eliminator yet. Keep that in mind. No money hath been made in the Eliminator. Geno at quarterback with Purdy. Don't love that. Might need to do some quarterback bidding here. Yes, very, very good to pick up the Packers defense. Kyler does not have particularly great value. Eliminator starts paying after week 4. The math that was available from prior seasons is that the 2 elite tight end builds in Battle Royale are not that good. All right, we're going to do Jake Browning. We're going to do Mac Jones. Probably small bids because like starting Geno is fine, but it's not great. Yeah, I think the Packers defense is the best defense in the NFL. So I think they are startable for the entirety of the rest of the season. That's my analysis of the situation. 2 elite tight end in Battle Royale is absolutely the definition of it. Didn't work them, but it might work for us. Man, I think we actually are probably going Ramondre this week. Adams, DJ Moore, Bowers, Tet, Waddle. We have Juwan Jennings if Waddle doesn't play. Probably no reason to hold on to Freiermuth on this team. What has the Freiermuth routes been like? Position, tight end, team, Steelers. Freiermuth has run 58% of the routes and 12% of the Pittsburgh Steelers targets. Yeah, all the winners basically, I would say basically from all your flex spots, so your 2 running backs, your 2 wide receivers need to have at least 20 fantasy points, if not more. My dynasty running backs are Javonte Williams, Ken Walker, and Bishal Tuden. I mean, the answer of should you trade for Genty is yes. I mean, just regardless of the context. I have never, basically, me personally, Davis Maddock, I've never been less worried about a running back than I am about Ashton Genty. Some people are worried. I am not worried. All right. Ooh, Jatavian Sanders actually is a really good ad. Yeah, Jatavian Sanders is maybe actually flex startable. So I'm going to save that bid group. All right. That should be it for high stakes stuff on the FFPC. Hampton and James Conner for that I do. I do that deal. Yeah, because you're just, even if you are selling players you like, you're getting the best player in the deal. Henderson and Fannin or Genty. Ooh, Genty. That one's closer though, because I really do believe in Fannin. All right. Let's check. Well, here, let's do my waivers for this team. So I have Lamar. This is the Fantasy Life Championship. Here you go. Here's the standings. Oh, I gotta save that. Shout out to Xavier Worthy on my bench. Chess Liam in second place, 2-0, 161 point score. I do play college BRs sometimes. There's a fella in the Slappy Central Discord who posts BR college football rankings. So sometimes when he posts them in the college football channel. Keenan Kraft Dobbins, Nico Collins, George Kittle, Pacheco. I mean, definitely the Nico side for me. Yes, this is this best ball league, and my team sure looks like it. Look at my points scored, 115 per game. I mean, it's not what you want, I would say. All right, waiver wire. I have $1,000 of blind bidding money. Where's McWeapon? Is McWeapon available? McNichols. All right, McNichols. I'm gonna bid 333 on him because I actually literally do need him. Is Rodriguez is not available. Whew, that is really bad. There you go. Week 3 elims are live. We can go look at that here in a moment. FFPC, pick one of Juwan Johnson, Judy Tillman, QJ. No, I would say Juwan Johnson be first there. I'm not giving up. I am not giving up on Luther Burden this week. I need at least one more week before I give up on Luther Burden, I think. I don't know. Is that crazy? I feel like I need a minimum of one more week before I'm done with Luther Burden. Because they stink now. They're 0-2. You know, what are they doing not playing Burden and Loveland? I feel like that's silly. Man, what a bad fantasy football team I have set up here. I guess I will drop Jarquez Hunter. Although I did get Woody Marks. Yeah, or you could just hold for the DJ Moore crash out, right? The DJ Moore crash out could occur at any moment. And then you're chilling. No sweat at that point. All right, I need to finish my DraftKings EPL lineups. Or UCL. Full PPR sit start. If Kirk plays, I mean, it looks to me like one of the things they planned on in their offense was getting more Christian Kirk, just more quick throws. Could be a totally wrong read, but that's one of the ways that I interpreted it. All right. I think I agree with Sarcastic Squirrels here. Sarcastic Swirls, if possible, I'd be holding Loveland and Burden past the pairs week 5 bye. Yes, Isak is gunning today. Isak will be scoring in the Champions League today. That much is certain. Big day in the Champions League today. Okay. What was I in the middle of doing? Got these teams done. I did my NFC teams earlier, so let's go look at some of these Survivor contests. Let me pull up the old Survivor grid. Do you guys know about the Survivor grid? It's pretty useful. But I think this is the first very interesting week of Survivor. Should I yes, you can drop Hawk, Rodrigo. You can drop TJ Hawkinson. Tank Bigsby is maybe cuttable by the Philadelphia Eagles who just traded for him. So yes, you can cut him. I think that I have cut Bigsby in almost every league where I had him. Thoughts on McConkey? McConkey might be the best buy low in fantasy football. If it's not Amarian Hampton, it's his teammate. Seymour, bro, you're breaking my heart. Worthy or Fannin in a third? I mean, it's still Worthy. Worthy's dead this year. He's not dead forever. No, I do not expect that Bajent will be starting. So I have 9 left. I did stupidly use the Minnesota Vikings last week. Why did I use the Minnesota Vikings? That was a dumb one. I should have known better than that. So it looks like the chalk this week. I mean, Buffalo is huge favorites, but they have such good future value. I honestly would not want to use him because you could use Buffalo again next week. You could use them again the week after that. Then they get to play at Carolina. They get at Miami. You know, they have good matchups in the money weeks too. I mean, sheesh. And I think Green Bay is Jeanty and Judkins enough to get Neighbors in a redraft league, in a dynasty league. In a redraft league, it might be enough. In a dynasty league, I would say almost no way. But I could be wrong about that. It'd be real hard for me to imagine someone giving you Neighbors in a dynasty league for that. Yeah, it shouldn't. I was going to say it really shouldn't. I have 21% dimes as my highest advancing quarterback in the Eliminator. Will a tight end ever play for the Dolphins? Probably not. Honestly. Man, there was definitely a moment in time when I believed that Darren Waller was going to matter in fantasy football, and you know, looking back on it, that feels pretty silly. Looking back on it, don't know how smart of an idea that was. Probably not very smart. Should I shop Jamar Chase for a top run? No. Do not do that. They're all going to take advantage of you because they know that Joe Burrow is injured. I would not do that. I would say that is pretty bad idea. It's not a bad idea, but I wouldn't say it's a particularly good idea, is all I suppose. Like, what are whatever you're hoping for, it's not going to work out. That's why Jonnu wanted a trade. He knew the Dolphins were running 0 tight end sets. Well, when you know, I suppose. Yeah, I also did not take very much Javonte. Okay. Green Bay goes at Cleveland, then they go at Dallas. They have an early bye. They're going to be big favorites at home against Cincinnati. They're going to be favored by more than 1.5 at Arizona. They're going to be big favorites against Carolina. Their divisional games are tough. The Green Bay Packers, and they're really high up. I would move them pretty high in my my power rankings, as it were. Wouldn't you guys? Like, it feels like the Green Bay Packers should be considered as good. Like, the Green Bay Packers should be considered as good as the Bills for this future value stuff. Now, Seattle is going to end up being the stone chalk this week because listen to their schedule. So then they're at Arizona. They're home to Tampa Bay. They're at Jacksonville. They're home to Houston. Then they go on a bye. They're not clearly favored in a game basically for the rest of the season. At home against the Saints. I mean, Rattler is not a 0. He's not very good. I've actually sort of been pleasantly surprised by what they've been able to get out of Rattler. Yeah, I think that, I mean, they might be ahead. Honestly, do you think they might be ahead of the Eagles in the NFC? Yeah, I think it looks, I would say I'm comfortable doing like half my entries. Packers, yes, the Packers' future schedule not nearly as weak. The Buffalo Liams have a very, very easy schedule going forward. That certainly is the case. So shout out to them for that. Okay, we've got Tampa Bay also really nutted, and they have a pretty tough schedule because they're home to Philly, at Seattle, home to San Francisco. Purdy probably is back then, at Detroit, then at New Orleans. I would not touch Kansas City right now. I think I'm saving Kansas City for that game against the Raiders. Don't love Baltimore in this spot. I do like Atlanta against Carolina. I think this is a really sneaky spot to use Philadelphia. I was an early adopter on Rattler. That is true. Washington with Mariota. Man, what a tricky week. Yeah, I feel like you do probably just split your entries up. I feel like I'm going almost all Green Bay, Seattle, Tampa Bay this week. Oh, we had a trade in the Slappy Central Dynasty League. You love to see it. All right, wait to make the Friday pick with Reeves. I'm going to do... Ooh, nice. I already got the Bengals out of the way on this team. I'm going to do one Seahawks here. Where are they? There we go. I'm going to do one Seahawks. Keep making picks. Wait, no, I want to go back to my entries. One Seahawks. One Packers. Oh, I got to type in Green Bay. No, Packers is fine. Packers are... If I had to take one team 100% this week, it would be the Packers. Dubs, Shaheed, Alec Iomanner, or Xavier Tillman. Who should I drop Hawkinson for? My opinion would be Shaheed, followed by Alec, followed by Tillman, followed by Dubs. But I am a noted Romeo Dubs hater. On this one, I've already used the Broncos, and I got by with the hair on my chinny chin chin on the Cowboys. So I've already wasted one pretty high EV team. So let's do the Seahawks again on this one. Bang. Seahawks back to my entries. Has Taj Brooks seen the field, or is he looking like around 18-0? I don't really think he's played at all. He's just a pure handcuff. Bengals running back. Yep, he has not seen the field yet. 72%, 82% between Pirine and Chase Brown. Many such cases. All right. And then I said Tampa Bay. This, I've used the Cardinals and I've used the Lions. So if I've already used the Lions, I should probably try and go. And I think it is worth, if you're in a bunch like me, to take the Bills in at least one. But that's my dish. I'm not taking anyone else. I don't have a strong lean. I really want to avoid the Ravens this week. And I guess you could get away with the Falcons this week, but all right, let's go check our Eliminator pods. Change the title of the stream to checking, or to Eliminator pods are out. I wonder how many I have against noted influencers. Live, best ball, Eliminator. I have 46 left. I wonder what the exposures are looking like. Hopefully good. Hopefully not a ton of zeros. Eliminator Pod Check. Yeah, I think you could do the Falcons in like 1 or 2, but I'm not going great. There you go. Not So Narrowcast has one against Overzet. My highest remaining exposures: Travis Kelce, Devin A-Chain, Roma Dunze, Flowers, Rogers, Justice Hill. Don't love that. A lot of James Cook, a lot of Shaheed, a lot of God. Do not love that with Kyron. All right. Eliminator. First one. 4 quarterbacks. Don't know how that ended up happening. Kyler, Lawrence, Dart, Russ, A-Chain, Genty, Caleb, Scattaboo, Benson, Giddens, Adams, Flowers, Hunter, Pittman Jr., Luther Burden, Troy Franklin, George Kittle, and Brenton Strange. He has no Burrow. Two 4 quarterback teams against each other. I've not looked too close for tomorrow. Start 1 at flex. Tootin. I would start Tootin at flex of that group of players. All right, so this guy's missing Burrow, but he's still good at quarterback. Henry, Taylor, Judkins, JCM, Tet, Olave, Jacoby. His wide receivers are not very good. Trey McBride, David Njoku. I'm making myself a slight favorite in that one. Showtime, I've got, not great at quarterback. Lost JJ McCarthy. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers. Oh, a Jordan Mason team. Neighbors, JSN, Hunter, Down, Shaheed. I love seeing no zeros on these. Love checking these and not seeing a zero. Drop Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins is a zero, Lutz. All right, this dude only has Lamar and Rodgers. He has Henry, Kyron, Warren, Adams, Metcalf, Adunze, Coleman. Weird team. There you go. Travis Kelce, Brenton Strange. That one seems like a coin flip. Atraldi has Hurts and Burrow. Oh, his running backs stink. This guy's running back stinks. Got Bayern today. Oh, cutting bait on the Steelers defense for sure. They suck. AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill, Devonta, Keon, Burden, QJ, Yoshibas, Hawkinson, Kincaid, Juwan. Wow, big Juwan team. Ooh, a Daniel Jones team. Ford dead, Shipley dead. So this team is basically all those top 3 running backs. Tet, Moore, Jennings, Debo, Demario Douglas, Wandale, Turpin, Kraft, and Kelsey. I will win. This guy's name is I Will Win. A lot of early running back teams got through. He's got a Judkins. So his running backs, he's basically got 2 zeros in Wright and Brashard, 3 zeros with Rashi. A lot of zeros on this guy's team. Trey Harris is a 0. Interesting. Herbert, Tua, Shuck, LOL. Gibbs, Kamara, ETN, Nick Chubb, Tyler Algier, Kareem Hunt. So at least 1 0 running back for me. Ladd, Reek, Pickens. And wow, we both have Rashee Rice. Emeka Egbuka, Christian Kirk, Dante Thornton, Travis Kelce, and Cade Otton. No Mahomes for Prez. Mahomes for Prez, but he has Burrow with Brees, Tracy, Etienne, and Dobbins as his running backs. Puka, St. Brown, JSN, Flowers, Jacoby Myers, another QJ team. Besh, Pierce, Coker, Ferguson, Pitts, Otton. Another Marion Hampton team. Ooh, Aaron Jones, 0. A Javonte team for me. Trade Sharbs or Benson for Kincaid. What's your waiver wire situation like, Swavey? I don't hate that trade, but I just don't love getting Kincaid either. Pull up the Elim exposures. All right, we'll pull up the Elim exposures. Looks like my biggest sweats, we'll just go by position. So I've got 5 teams with Daniel Jones, Bryce Young, Penix, Tua, Fields. Don't love that. Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, and Aaron Rodgers. So like I think I would just probably rather do Strange, brother. I think I like Strange more than Kincaid. And you don't have to give anything up for him. You can just drop whatever. Strange is playing a ton. Look at this. Check this usage on Brenton Strange. 78% of the routes, 13% of the team's targets. Pretty good for Brenton. A lot of A-Chain. I just must attack Justice Hill onto the end of like all these teams. A lot of Woody Marks left. A lot of Chuba Hubbard. A lot of ETN. A lot of Nick Chubb left. A lot of Jacobs. Ugh, Damian Pierce. Yeah, I was just drafting at the end. I guess if you'd have to drop them anyway, yeah, then just do the trade for Kincaid, because Kincaid is better. Ugh, Pacheco. Mason is nice. 6 Mason teams left. Rip to Austin Eckler. There you go. Got my rookies in. Trevion, Gene T. Oh, I believe in the missile. I'd rather keep Charbonnet over Benson. Pretty close though. Pretty close. You know what you're giving up either way. Like you know the deal one way or the other with those fellas. Scattaboo, show me something good. I have 92 wide receivers left on these teams. Rome, Flowers, Shaheed, Hunter, Wandale, Pittman, JSN believer, Jacoby Myers. Not loving the T. Higgins. A lot of De'Ami Brown. A lot of Puka. Oof, Jaden Reed. 13% of my remaining teams have Jaden Reed. 13% of my remaining teams have Worthy. 10% of my remaining teams have Jalen Knoll. I like Pearsall more than Myers for the rest of the year. God, these exposures are dusty. Kelsey being my most drafted tight end. So funny. I gotta see if I have any versus any of the guys. Jay Nezzy, Connor, Hendo, Paper God, Chris Tan, Over the Rhine, Tom Blue, GSG9. Come on, show me it. Oh, Patrick Barnes YouTube. Patrick Barnes YouTube. We meet again. He has, wow, and he even has Mahomes. Mahomes, Dak, Tua, Henderson, Swift, Aaron Jones, 0. Javonte, hate it. Eckler, 0. Shipley, 0. A last round JCM. Neighbors, St. Brown, Evans, Harrison, Dubs, Bryant, Andrews, and Janu. Strange over likely, I think. If you could draft one team 3 weeks ago, knowing what happened up to now, how much better would your odds be to win BBM? Honestly, your odds would probably be worse because you'd be way too overconfident in the things that you just saw the last 2 weeks. You would be way too overconfident that you had the entirety of the season figured out, and you would let those implicit biases into everything you were doing, and then a bunch of things that you thought were true after 2 weeks of the season would be wrong, and you'd end up right back where you thought you were? It's a very interesting question. My biggest edge is people thinking Benson is good. Well, I know in my soul he stinks. Good to know. Then if you, I guess if you knew that bias, but they're just, how do you fight against that bias? I don't even know if you know how to fight against that bias. Algier or Rashad White? I got Algier. Wow. Dan, we have an eliminator matchup. Well, I'm probably about to get to it. My team, oh God, I have a Tua Geno team with no Fields against Patrick Barnes YouTube. A-Chain, Gene T, Cook, ETN, Marks, Gordon, Worthy, Flowers, Pearsall, Downs, Mims, Besh, Noah Brown. This team stinks. All right, well, chalk one up to Patrick Barnes YouTube there. Sean, B. Moore, J-Dub, Joe Pa, Many Boo, Kaiser Soze 13. He's a Twitter guy. Cashflow, Warren Moe, Hotch 22, Edo Dig, Twonky. Come on. Show me a Chess Liam. Show me Daily Rojo. Come on. Look, it's looking like no fun matchups this week. There we go. Here's FF Dan. So this is Dan from the Discord. Yeah, we will do some BRs. I think Seattle is the best possible survivor pick. Pods are out, PD. Pods are out. FF Dan has Fields, Caleb, and Lawrence, a Bucky, Kamara, Connor, Miles Sanders, Chris Rodriguez running back room, Jefferson, Diggs, Rome, Pittman, Burden, Wandale. Wow, he's got Wandale and QJ, Trey McBride, and Kincaid. I've got Herbert, Young, Darnold, Cook, Chuba, Harvey, Caleb Johnson. So I have basically two guys who can get me a score in the running back room. Neighbors, Puka, Hunter, Downs, Wandale, Coker, Pat Bryant, Tyler Warren, Harold Fannin, and Juwan Johnson. I just want to see one little. Well, that's it. I don't have any versus Chess Liam. I don't have any versus Pat. I don't have any versus Zach. I don't have any versus Shady. Yeah, Wandale and QJ, mini such team. Should I trade away Josh Allen and Ramondre for Jalen Hurts and Drake London? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You should do that immediately. With the quickness. All right, well, folks, as a reminder, still a long way left to go. We still are not even getting our $10 back right now. Lot of ball game left. In fact, we still haven't really made. I don't think you make any money until like week 7. My video made you less panicked on Hampton, but for week 3, would you start Dobbins over him? I honestly, dude, I really wouldn't. I know. I still am gonna have Hampton ranked pretty high. I traded ETN and Judy for Bucky Irving. Yes, that is an absolute shipper. Huge win to do that. Crazy win, actually, people are saying. Swavey, I made a video about. I literally, truly, this morning, I just made a whole video about Trevion Henderson and RJ Harvey and why you should not be worried about them. All right. Well, there we go. Think we got time to do a dog bowl? Yeah, let's rip a couple. There you go. We'll rip a couple BRs, And then I actually have a golf lesson in 30 minutes, which you love to see. J Mike says it was a very good video today. Let's go, J Mike. That's what I love to hear, man. It would be really embarrassing if you guys knew how long that video took me to make. That was like 6 hours, which does not make me feel very proud. Yeah, sadly, we are definitely worried about Caleb Johnson. Yeah. Caleb Johnson is not sure how that situation is going to work out for itself. That one, he can't seem to get out of his own way. So, and I thought Caleb Johnson was a good player too. It's so this guy that I have taken a lesson from, I bought a pack of like 3 lessons. He is a biomechanics guy. That's like the way he teaches golf. So it's like I'm not even gonna really hit balls. Sutton or Garrett Wilson? Garrett Wilson still. He's just better. How big of a head-to-head for me to get a weekly saucing on the Tuesday show? I don't know. I gotta think about it. Well, this is classic NFL coaching of we don't have any way to get Caleb Johnson the ball, so let's just get him on the field to kick. Wow, Christian McCaffrey at 3. Okay. Yeah, we have no way to get Caleb Johnson on the field. So we might as well just put him on kick returns so that he gets a chance to touch the ball. It really is pretty stupid. Oh, you want to have an advantage at wide receiver the most, I think. I would probably rank them in terms of position you most want to have advantage. You'd say wide receiver, running back, tight end, quarterback, probably. Oh, I've got an Elam versus Alex. I have Herbert, Goff, A-Chain, Henderson, Puka, Evans, Rome, Pittman. Bang. There you go. Shout out to the sidekick for jamming me in some QJ. No, Terry McLaurin is not a top 25 wide receiver. 220 IBs. Incredible stuff. Really incredible stuff from Ron there. I really couldn't believe it. Wow. Jamar Chase. I mean, I don't love Chase this week, but CMC and Chase together, too easy. Tootin and Igbuka or AJ Brown? Still AJ Brown. Yeah, I can't. It was. How did you ever? I don't know where he got the eye from. It's crazy. Ooh, must draft of the week. Jordan Mason. He's already up to the running back 8, so I guess people are hip to it now. Yeah, Jordan Mason is going for 1 billion points. Or like 14, but either way. It's too good of a matchup. It's too good of a spot. Just really, really no way around it. Wow. And they just, I mean, dude, it's crazy. I really don't ever recall a slate. Maybe I would need some of you guys to recall one. I don't ever really remember a Battle Royale slate where McBride and Bowers you could get in the 3rd round every time. I do agree with this. I do think JSN is underpriced across all formats. If you could put the Chesley and Blessing on one player, Rashid Shaheed. Like 13 touchdowns for Rashid Shaheed. Are the Bengals a top 5 run defense? I'm going to guess there's no chance that's true. I would just guess there's no way. By PFF run defense grade, the Bengals are right in the middle of the pack. Yeah, you know what? I will take Ashton Genty because I'm not worried. PFF run defense, they're middle of the pack. In 2024, hold on, I can pull this up. Seasons, team defense. The Bengals gave up 20 rushing touchdowns. They allowed middle of the pack yards per carry. What about here? I can go to team advanced. I can go to expected points. Expected points. The Bengals, hey, they were actually an okay defense by expected points. They were, well, actually, no, they weren't. They were pretty bad by expected points. But other than being bad, they're good. Other than the being bad, they are pretty good. Honestly, I do not really remember Bowers going undrafted in BRs. All right. These are all really chalky combinations, so we need to scroll. Here's a deep depth scroll for you guys. Keenan Allen this week in Battle Royales. That is one of my gems this week. I love it. I love this angle, Matt. I think this angle is cool. Mayfield, Evans, Mayfield, Igbuka. I like that. It's all gross, brother. Keenan, man. Keenan is here's a little bit of unfortunate reality. Keenan Allen leads the team in target percentage, leads the team in targets per route run, leads the team in catchable targets, leads the team in utilization rate, which is not to say that it will remain that way. Obviously, going forward, I would be betting on a big Ladd McConkey comeback. But it's real. Garrett Wilson Skelly Key this week. I love it. I love that. I'm going to take Herbie here. Is he available? He is available. Justin Herbert, Christian McCaffrey, Ashton Jeanty, Jamar Chase, Keenan Allen, Trey McBride. Let's do ourselves a little Dawg Bowl. Dawg Bowl qualifier. Let's just draft the winner, man. Tired of not being qualified yet. Looked like last week the touchdown multiplier to win via pick'em was a lot higher. Let me pull it up. Underdog drafts. Can't find it. Is it just on the main Underdog account? They didn't do it. They did it on the actual Underdog account, not on the Underdog Drafts account. Here you go. 40.43x. CMC, James Cook, George Pickens, Javonte, Malik Neighbors, Jamar Chase, and Travis Etienne Jr. Feels like it was easy. Obviously there is a time and a place to go 3 wide receiver. What I would say is that the research, I was about to say the research I've done, but it is not the research that I've done. The research that Pete, John, and Nez did in the Underdog DFS Masterclass was that those teams just project so much worse that it is hard to justify them. If Daniels is out, I would do Penix over Mariota. I know. I was. I had some good teams in the Battle Royales last week. Not that Trey McBride could ever score a touchdown, but if Trey McBride did ever score a touchdown, it would have been a nice time for it yesterday or on Sunday. Paramount Plus buying the Champions League games turned me into a... It's horrible, dude. It's so annoying. I really hate it. All right. Let's do... What do I want to... I guess I'll just take... I don't really want to take Barkley. I don't really want to take Barkley, so I'm not going to. I'm going to select Sedarian Lamb. I like the running backs in the 20s a little bit more. It'll be pretty close. If Genty and Mason are both gone, I will potentially regret that decision a good deal. I don't want to really take Barkley because Barkley doesn't look like he's going to be that great for fantasy this year. He's still not really catching any passes. The offensive line for the Eagles is a little bit worse. Barkley looks a little bit slower. I don't know. I just feel like the Barkley haters are probably ultimately going to end up being correct. It's just going to happen in a way that doesn't matter. And I'll tell you another tough thing about these dog bowls is that when you take Puka and you take Chase and you take JSN and you take Jefferson and you take Nico, and they're all fine picks, you don't really want to take their quarterbacks. That's the weirdest thing about the first round in BRs this week is that all the high projected guys, you don't want to take their quarterbacks. Is that Davis Maddock in the dog bowl drafts? Is that Davis Maddock from the Swolecast? Man, imagine we find a shipper. If the Chargers and the Packers keep it up, yeah, playoff. I'm already thinking about playoff best ball. Already thinking about how annoying it's going to have to be to draft Xavier Worthy. And think about how annoying it's going to be to have to draft Tyquan Thornton. Tyquan Thornton is the most important man in the world. Bro, is that Davis Maddock from the Gilcast? Is it the same guy? That's crazy. I wish I could get Nate to play these games. I'm back into thinking about drafting KLS. Keandre Lambert-Smith is the most important man in the world. Fair point, assuming the Chiefs even make the playoffs, which at this time in my life feels pretty gosh darn fraught. I'll be honest with you. It's one of the million. Oh man, Jordan Mason. Zorner went Jefferson and Mason. That feels awful. Mark, are you here? Where, Mark? Was that intentional? It's very interesting. It'll be time to learn Jalen Royals if and when he ever gets healthy. All right. Well, I lost all of my running backs that I liked. They all went. I guess I should have known. All right. Let's just go for the chalk. Let's take Rome. We're going all in on the chalk this week. Rome, CD, easy game. Who is the best 18th round eliminator pick up to this point? Juwan Johnson. It's got to be Juwan Johnson, right? I got to be honest, I don't think about Khalil Shakir at all. One of the most nothing fantasy players in the NFL. What do I do here? Do I take one of these loser? I mean, these running backs stink. I could take. I don't really want to take Kraft either. Kraft is okay. I don't love it though. QJ wasn't always an 18th round pick though, right? Juwan was an 18th round pick the whole time. You know what? I am going to select. I'm going to say everyone is stupid but me. And I'm going to take Kyron Williams. Everyone's done with him. Congrats on becoming a legitimate Twitter celebrity. I saw a Facebook post with like 30K likes. It just was a screenshot of your tweet. Well, Pious Devil, tell those people to come watch the Davis Maddock YouTube channel. Because right now, this Twitter celebrity has 158 people watching him. Which is not a complaint. It's just a truism. Best 16th round pick was Keenan Allen. Does that make Amari Cooper the worst 18th round pick? True. So I guess, is someone going to snap me off on Dak on this team? And how low do I want to go? I know who I want to do as my running back 2 on this team, but I wonder if I get snapped. Yeah, oof. I did take Deontay Johnson a couple times. I'm man enough to admit it. Man enough to admit that I took Deontay Johnson several times. The 48 hours of people doing the Amari Cooper CLV, absolutely hilarious. Which is not to say that I've not done an unearned victory lap many times in my life, because Lord knows I certainly have. Okay. There's one dude that drafted 80 BBM teams with Allen and Cooper. I guess you win some, you lose some. Whomst among us has not taken a victory lap that then proved to be immediately untrue? It's just hard to say. I didn't even check who else is in here. Barzy, Casey Polak, Chris, a No Badger, which you don't see much. Mark Zorner, Philly.eth. So I guess, oh my God. Philly, dude. Why did you just take Dak Prescott with Javonte? Ryan's in the 11. Josh, yeah, I knew Josh's screen name. God. Man, I mean, I assume the Kansas City Super Bowl hopes are already over. Here you go, Barzy, 4th in the Dog Bowl. Oh, Thomas, brother, I'm praying for you, man. That sucks. All right, got to take Caleb here. Just horrible stuff. Now I am freed up to take whatever tight end. Well, I guess all the tight ends have been taken anyways, so it doesn't matter. Can't believe this is my life, drafting through it all. Take me down to Caleb Williams City. All right, well, I don't care which tight end I get, so I'm going to take the running back I want next. I'm going to dare one of these fellas to take him from me. Yeah, Javonte, just a normal, everyday, second-round pick in Dog Bowl contests. You know, why not? Why wouldn't it be? I can't believe how fast it switched on Javonte. He was so bad last year, man. All right. Put your money where your mouth is, Davis. Draft Amarian Hampton in the Dog Bowl. Stop the panic. I did stop the panic, Davis. I watched my own YouTube video. Rookie running backs start slow, then win leagues. Here's proof. Sure enough, I did. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. I'm putting it into practice. Frankly, of all the guys to be concerned about, I actually get being more concerned about Genty than I do about Hampton. Hampton has not looked particularly good, but we know exactly what Najee Harris is. The concern with Genty would be, well, he's just not good enough to overcome the structural stuff. That it is just the offensive line is too bad. Chip Kelly is using outdated and outmoded run concepts like run fits that don't work in the NFL anymore. Geno is not good, not going to give him enough touchdowns. Maybe they're like too Brock centric. And so if this knee injury for Brock is real, then Brock is not going to be able to, be the engine. I can see, honestly, I can see a lot of, I am not worried, but I can see reasons to be worried. Whereas like, it's the exact opposite with the Chargers. Like the Chargers are, they're number one in the NFL in PROE, but if you think that Harbaugh and Greg Roman are going to go through the course of the year and not develop an insane run game, I have a lakefront or oceanfront property in Idaho to sell you. Exactly. The Chargers are just like a sick offense. Like there's something. If I knew now what I knew then, I would be like all the way back in on. I'd even draft Najee. I draft a lot. I draft Keenan. I draft more Ladd. Man, I really wish I am mad at Quentin Johnston for getting injured in the first place, because QJ getting injured after Flock had already sold me on him. I was drafting him, and then he got injured, and then I stopped drafting him. Which tight end am I? Can now pick any of them. You're right. Well, someone could double up, dude. Tight end stinks here. I'm thinking Fannin, I'm thinking Njoku, and I'm thinking Strange. Goddard, you know what? Goddard in the Dog Bowl is pretty interesting if you're punting, because either you get like an undrafted, unowned guy. Like Goddard is going to be what? I don't know, max 25% drafted or something like this. Or you get a swap, and tight end doesn't matter anyways. Oh, don't let Jake Benninger see that. It's less over for Trey Harris. He played a little bit more than I thought last week. He did have a nice catch, and I did see. You guys know I did not stay awake for that game. I did go back and watch the condensed version of the game, and I did see KLS got a pretty brutal offensive offsides which you don't love to see. All right, we have CeeDee Lamb, we have Rome Odunze, we have Kyron Williams, we have Caleb Williams, we have Omarion Hampton. None of these guys are a bring back or anything. He did do the Vikings Omega stack. Mark did Jefferson, Mason, BTJ, Walker, Hawkinson, and Carson Wentz all in on the Minnesota Vikings. I will be taking David Njoku. Bunch of downfield targets last week, more snaps, more routes, less owned. Caleb Williams, Kyron Williams, Omarion Hampton, CeeDee Lamb, Rome Odunze, David Njoku. Johnny, you did no such thing. I did it on my own. I had a bunch of really good teams in BR, but I hope that you enjoyed yourself. All right. That's it, everyone. Make sure you go watch the running backs video. Make sure you like the video. Make sure